Welcome to the program, Global Weekly News, serial number 83. First, threat to secularism in India. 464-year-old Babri Mosque at Ayodhya was demolished by Hindu extremist mobs on 6th December 1992. Hindu far-right organizations have long claimed that the site is the birthplace of Lord Ram. RSS and Sangh Parivar had maintained that the demolition of the mosque was the result of spontaneous mobilizations of Karsevaks. Reports and accounts, particularly the Liberan Commission inquiry, stated otherwise. In its report, the inquiry concluded that the mobilization of Karsevaks and their convergence to Ayodhya and Faizabad was neither spontaneous nor voluntary. It was well orchestrated and planned. It held senior political figures, including former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee and former BJP President Lal Krishan Advani. In 1990, Advani had mobilized thousands of right-wing Karsevaks for a violent 16-state yatra destined for Ayodhya in support of the Sangh Parivar's campaign to build a Ram temple over there. Following the demolition of the mosque in 1992, over 2,000 people, mostly Muslims, were killed in the sectarian violence that followed the events of December 6, 1992. The demolition of the mosque is considered a turning point in Indian history with the ascendance of Hindu nationalism, a decisive departure from the values of secularism. After BJP came to power, the foundation stone was laid by the Prime Minister in 2022 in Ayodhya. Our country has no official state religion. On January 22 this year, 2024, a temple dedicated to Ram was inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi. He performed the consecration ritual, fulfilling the BJP's electoral promise. CPIM is the first party to reject the invitation for the inaugural ceremony. The Ram temple, nation and state have all been morphed together, the CPIM said. It also said that the Ayodhya ceremony is to proclaim Hindutva as the state ideology. Many other political parties, including Indian National Congress, declined the invitation. Modi thanked the judiciary and said Ram's temple was built in a legal manner. Babri Masjid was built by Mughal Emperor Babur in mid-19th century. The situation changed dramatically in December 1949 when an idol of Ram as an infant was smuggled in and placed under the mosque's central dome by local Hindu right-wing outfits. Subsequently, the doors of the mosque where Muslims had offered prayers were locked. In the 1950s, court rulings paved the way for Hindus to offer prayers at the site. By 1986, a district court judge in Faizabad ordered that the gates be unlocked and Hindus be allowed to worship at the site, with a ruling allegedly issued on orders from within the government of Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. In 1989, competing lawsuits over the ownership of the site, dating back to the late 1950s and early 1960s, were shifted to Allahabad High Court. The High Court in 2010, in its verdict, divided the land into three parts. The area under the central dome was given to the Hindu claimants. An outer courtyard was given to the Sunni Waqf Board, who represented Muslims. All parties appealed the ruling in the Supreme Court. In November 2019, after a period of unsuccessful mediation, the court delivered its verdict in a unanimous judgment, the Supreme Court. The ruling handed over the entire Babri Masjid site to Ram Trust. This is despite the fact that the Supreme Court had acknowledged that the mosque had been desecrated by the installation of Hindu idols in 1849 and that the subsequent exclusion of Muslims was not through any lawful authority. The court further determined that destruction of the mosque in 1992 was an egregious, that is, blatant violation of the rule of law. Despite this, the Supreme Court ordered the allocations of an alternate site to the Sunni Waqf Board. Meanwhile, ownership of the site was to be given to the trust for the construction of the Ram Temple. Soon after his retirement, the then Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, who had been a member of the bench that delivered the verdict, was nominated by Government of India as an MP to the Rajya Sabha. In 2020, a special court in Lucknow acquitted Advani and 31 others accused, which included senior Sangh Parivar leadership in the Babri Masjid violence. This was a month after Prime Minister Modi laid the foundation stone at the temple. 32 years after the Babri Mosque demolition, Modi performed the consecration ritual at a temple, that is Pran Pratishthan, something like that, dedicated to Lord Ram in Ayodhya, fulfilling BJP's electoral promise of 2014. January 22 was also declared a half day off for all government offices, central institutions and industrial establishments for employees to be able to participate in the celebrations. Religion is different, politics is different. Religious sentiments shall not be utilized to reap political benefits. Well, this is secularism, enshrined in the Constitution as a basic principle. Unity in diversity is our speciality. During the last 10 years, due to the neoliberal policies of the Modi government, all sections of people are suffering. Basic issues like education, health, employment and environment, etc. were neglected. To safeguard the livelihood of the common toiling masses, to defend the Constitution and its basic principles like democracy, secularism, etc. Well, the BJP government shall be ousted lock, stock and barrel in the ensuing parliamentary elections in 2024. On 16th February, let us strive to make the joint program of industrial sectoral strikes and Gramin Bandh a great success. Comrades, second, we are going to see a human chain in Kerala. The central government has been accused of discriminating against left-led state of Kerala, while also putting up administrative hurdles to its developmental programs. Principle of federalism is not respected by the central government. The rightful share of state revenue and central assistance to welfare schemes and development projects is denied. Soaring unemployment is there, but the central government is not ensuring recruitment to hundreds of thousands of vacant central government jobs. On January 20, more than 20 lakh people joined the massive human chain of 651 km organized by Democratic Youth Federation of India in protest against the far-right BJP-led central government's apathy and discrimination towards opposition-ruled Kerala state. 5 p.m. on 20th January, people from all walks of life, including youth, students, women, workers, cultural activists and leftist politicians joined the unbroken human chain. Lakhs and lakhs of people took an oath to take the struggle forward and also participated in political and cultural gatherings organized in more than 200 locations along the human chain. On 8th February, a massive dharna will be held in New Delhi, led by Kerala's Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. February 8th will be observed as Kerala Day by CIT, etc., to express solidarity in the struggle for the rights of Kerala all over India. Central ministers and central teams inspected the damages caused by floods and storms in Tamil Nadu, but central relief is yet to come. Comrades, now we are going to see an important victory of workers in Andhra Pradesh. Anganwadi workers victory in Andhra Pradesh. Anganwadi workers and helpers of Andhra Pradesh went on strike from 12th December 2023. They demanded monthly minimum wages of 26,000 rupees instead of the present 11,500 rupees, raising the retirement age to 62 and gratuity benefits. During the 42-day strike, leaders of the union such as K. Subbaravamma, General Secretary of the Andhra Pradesh State Anganwadi Union, went on an indefinite hunger strike from 17th December. She and others had to be hospitalized due to deteriorating health. The unions gave a call to reach the capital Vijayawada on 22nd January to submit the signatures collected on their demands. 30,000 Anganwadi workers and helpers had started for Vijayawada. Around 8,000 were arrested in various districts. On 23rd January night, the government agreed in a written statement for an increase in wages which they will work out along with the unions. Regarding gratuity, the Andhra Pradesh government asked for time and they will write to the central government on that matter. According to the Anganwadi Union, the state government has issued orders regarding travel allowance and dearness allowance, increasing the age limit for promotion as well as raising the retirement age to 62. In addition, the one-time retirement benefit has been raised from 50,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees for Anganwadi workers and from 20,000 to 60,000 workers for Anganwadi helpers. The state government agreed to convert all mini Anganwadi centers to full centers. Terming the strike as a grand victory, the All India Federation of Anganwadi Workers and Helpers said in a statement that the strike proved the strength of the working people. The federation has pointed out that in Maharashtra, the indefinite strike of Anganwadi workers and helpers, which started on 4th December, was still going on. It has called upon the workers to organize huge demonstrations in every parliamentary constituency on January 23 to 30. The news was originally published on NewsClick. Comrades, now let us go to Argentina. Javier Milei, the rightist, was sworn in as President of Argentina of South America on 10th December 2023. Milei has worked quickly to draft legislation which threatens the hard fought for rights of the Argentine people. Against this, lakhs of workers went on strike on 24th of January. The January 24th national strike is historic as it is the first time in recent history that the country's three major labor confederations, the General Confederation of Labor, CGT, the Argentine Workers Central Union and the Argentine Workers Central Union Autonomous are uniting for a joint industrial action. The strike has been called to reject Milei's legislations which trade unions say directly attack workers' rights, impose brutal economic neoliberal austerity measures and threaten the national sovereignty of the country. The legislations are intended to privatize the major government companies and banks and to promote foreign investment. The national general strike has gained widespread international support. The International Trade Union Confederation, ITUC, and WFTU, World Federation of Trade Unions, have issued statements expressing solidarity to the strike. They have called on their affiliates to demonstrate before Argentine embassies in their own countries. Next, we go to Germany. Over the last decade, far-right terrorism has been on the rise in Germany. In several instances, secret understandings, collusion between far-right criminal networks like neo-Nazi National Socialist Underground and the state security services in Germany has been exposed, triggering widespread protests. On 10th January, the German non-profit research institute published a shocking investigative report on a meeting held on 25th November, which was attended by German far-right politicians, including notable members of Alternative for Germany and a couple of members from the Christian Democratic Union. These politicians discussed plans for remigration or deportation of migrants from Germany. The left, Social Democrats and liberal sectors of the country have condemned the far-right conspiracy against the migrants, calling for militant protests. The platform, Together Against the Right, has stated that the right politicians want to expel millions of people who do not fit their racist ideology. From January 19 to January 22, more than 14 lakh people, including leftists, trade unionists, youth students groups and various other anti-fascist groups, hit the streets in more than 100 cities across Germany. A major demonstration has also been planned in Berlin by anti-fascist sections on 3rd February. Comrades, now we go to Zambia of Africa. The African country Zambia is on a huge debt crisis. Two of Zambia's key copper mines have returned to foreign private control. The metal, which is 70% of Zambia's exports, is a major source of foreign exchange earnings for Zambia. Zambia is the second largest producer of copper on the African continent. The metal is essential in the development of electrical vehicles and renewable energy. Soon after independence, there was an attempt under President Kenneth Kaunda to nationalize the mining sector. 51% ownership was secured. However, this has since been surrendered over the years. Copper refineries in Zambia are not utilized. Instead of export of copper, value-added products can be exported to earn more foreign exchange, according to the leftists. But this is not liked by multinational corporations and imperialism. Next, we go to see what's happening in Taiwan. On 13th January, the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, won the Taiwanese presidential election by polling 40.05% votes, the maximum among the contestants. The DPP, Democratic Progressive Party, which is generally considered to be more aligned with the US interests and plays with the idea of Taiwanese independence from China, was opposed by two other parties, the Kuomintang, KMT, and the Taiwan People's Party, TPP. These two more China-friendly KMT and Taiwan People's Party received a combined total of 59.95% of the votes. That is nearly 60% of the votes. Indian diplomatic observer M.K. Bhadrakumar said, the Beijing-friendly Kuomintang opposes Taiwan independence and advocates pragmatic dialogue, while the other rival, the Taiwan People's Party, proposes engaging with Beijing and maintaining peace. Reunification of Taiwan with China is an internal matter of People's Republic of China. One thing that the US, Australia, Taiwan and China all agree on, at least according to their adopted diplomatic positions, is that Taiwan is properly part of China. But US is supplying arms to Taiwan. US opposes reunification through military means. Officially, neither the People's Republic of China nor the Republic of China recognize each other. However, economic ties have blossomed. In 2023, trade between the two Chinas was worth $22,400 crore. Then we are going to see the Palestinian situation, risk of starvation and disease in Gaza. Israel's intensified bombardment in southern Gaza, particularly in Khan Yunis, continued unabated on the 109th day of its genocidal war in Gaza. Over 60 Palestinians have been reportedly killed and hundreds injured, attacking and bombing hospitals, schools, universities, etc. in one day. Israeli soldiers have also reportedly shot and killed a number of Palestinian civilians who were trying to flee the attacks and fighting and were waving white flags. Palestinian resistance fighters engaged Israeli soldiers in fierce gun battles and reportedly killed 24 Israeli soldiers in one day. In total, more than 208 Israeli soldiers have been killed by Palestine resistance fighters since the war began on October 7, 2023. The high number of Israeli casualties is putting additional domestic pressure on the Israeli government to agree to a ceasefire. Additionally, the families of the Israeli hostages in Gaza have been repeatedly calling on the government to agree to a truce and bring the hostages back home. On 23rd January, a number of family members of the hostages also stormed the Israeli parliament and raised slogans accusing the government of continuing the deadly and horrific war despite the danger it poses to the Israeli hostages. Qatari officials told the media that they are in talks with both Israel and Hamas regarding a possible ceasefire deal. Israel has reportedly offered a 2-month truce in the fighting in exchange for the freeing of all of the Israeli hostages. The overall death toll from the war has reached at least 25,490 Palestinians killed, along with at least 63,354 injured and more than 8,000 missing. The humanitarian situation is rapidly deteriorating for the 19 lakhs displaced Gazans. Due to the continued blockade of aid trucks, the majority of Gazans are suffering from an acute lack of food, medicines and other essential supplies. 5,70,000 Palestinians face catastrophic hunger. UN experts accuse Israel of using hunger and starvation as a weapon of war against the Palestinian civilians. In Gaza, a war crime under international law. Lastly, we are going to see the role played by Antonio Gramsci. Italian Marxist Antonio Gramsci was born on 22nd January 1891. He died at the age of 46 years. Gramsci elevated class consciousness to challenge fascist hegemony. Despite being imprisoned for organizing Italy's workers against the capitalist and fascist oppression, this revolutionary thinker, through his writings, continued to chart the course for the working class to break its shackles. Here are some of his quotes. Educate yourselves because we will need all your intelligence. Stir yourselves because we will need all your enthusiasm. Organize yourselves because we will need all your strength. Second, Revolutionary Communist Party bringing change of society shall make a full impact on the civil society before coming to power. Thank you, comrade. Last salam. See you next week.